So, read this quote. Anybody know who said this? Give it a sec. Want a hint? Who's in that video you just saw? Boxing? It's Muhammad Ali. Again, when I think of a person who makes everything they do look so much easier than it actually is, and just turns the impossible into tangible results, I think of the person that we're about to recognize. So I want to read, similar to what Jeff said earlier about Heidi, when I asked for people's reactions and comments on this person and what they respected and what they liked about the person. First of all, it took people about 17 and a half seconds to respond, and the enthusiasm and the specific nature of their responses was pretty, it was awe-inspiring. I'll read you a few, bear with me on this, because it's, when a person is this amazing, there's a lot to say about them. So, she has the perfect blend of giving you space to learn and grow on your own, but also stepping in and taking control when needed. She instills the basics, blocking and tackling better than anyone else. I credit my good habits, collection of perfect proposals to me teaching these things when I first started. She's extremely fair and always looks out for your best interests, and she goes to bat for you when needed. She's genuinely invested in your success and happiness, and even though she's incredibly busy, she manages to go out of her way to help, go on meetings, set a good example, and ensure every member of her team is in a good place. I feel like I can go to her about anything, work-related, personal, positive, negative, etc. She acts selflessly and has such a down-to-earth, generous, and kind demeanor. She's extremely supportive and receptive to my concerns as a new girl in the professional world. She's hands-off the majority of the time, which has led for people to be more independent on a day-to-day basis. She has more knowledge of TransPerfect than anyone I know. The entire company respects her, which makes her account managers very proud to work for her. She took me to get my first pedicure ever. Not me, she didn't take me. She should take me, that sucks. I literally don't know what our office would do without her. The amount of experience, knowledge, and care she brings to her responsibilities, and things that are not her responsibility, is beyond anyone in our entire company. And so in that regard, she's priceless. She's very reasonable. She knows 360 degrees of a situation and is able to analyze it, provide fair and logical solutions. And she's also not above having and making fun of light in all situations, which keeps everyone around her in a good humor, and it makes her really fun to be around. She keeps everything in perspective. Nothing is the end of the world, and life is going to go on, which I think is really, that sort of resiliency is super important. She gets more done in an hour than most people do in a day, and that's not an exaggeration. Her end of day will make you crawl under a rock. It's a specific quote. She's an amazing mom. She's kind of truly what she was born to do, and watching her with her kids is just amazing to be around. Last two before I get to my own. She's right about literally everything, from how a situation will play out to guessing how the finale of How I Met Your Mother is going to go. I guess she predicted that one. She also inspires confidence in people that they would rather, and this is I think her most amazing quality as a leader. I think people would rather do anything rather than let her down. I'm trying not to look at her so I don't get emotional. So there's a lot of stubborn, headstrong people in the office that work around us. And not a lot of people that I would listen to about, this is not me, this is one of her colleagues talking. If she asked me to come in on Sunday and organize the kitchen cupboards, not only would I do it without hesitation, but I would understand why it was necessary and question why I hadn't thought of it myself. So I thought that was a particularly good comment from one of her colleagues. So that's what the people said. And here's a few things that I'm going to say. Okay, so, like I said, she makes everything look so much easier than it possibly is, and just kind of, that's not just a once in a while occurrence, it's an everyday occurrence, so that just kind of takes accomplishment to a new level. She never says any time to me or to anybody else that that's not my job. She does whatever I ask, whenever I ask her to. She takes an incredible amount of pride in her team, and she's unfailingly loyal to that team. And she owns it just like Dan does, just about more than anyone else. But what I would say is what sets her apart, other than her dedication and loyalty to her team, is that on top of the loyalty she has to her team and the commitment she shows to it, she always takes time and makes time for other people to whom she has no responsibility. So lot of the same things you heard about Sean and Dan is true about Lisa and then some. And she's been doing it year after year for more than 13 years now. There's nobody that production respects more, and that's not just because she kisses up to production, it's because she understands their jobs. She challenges them and she gets the best out of them, and I would say that there's probably less than 5 people of the 40 sales managers that are even close to her in that regard. So I feel like it's certainly, anytime Lisa's involved in a situation, production is happier for her presence there. And lastly, whatever it is that I've done to build TransPerfect, I've only been able to do because of Lisa. It's amazing what you can accomplish when you have somebody beside you who can take care of anything. And she's done that for me time and again for more years than I can remember. I owe a great deal of gratitude to Phil and Liz for giving me such an incredible opportunity. But there's nobody in the world more responsible for my success than Lisa is. So Lisa, for all you do to challenge, to nurture, for believing that if you did what I asked you, that amazing things would happen, for making everyone around you better, inspiring them to not only be better employees, better bosses, better softball players, but better people. Please join me in congratulating the new Vice President of Sales, Lisa. I didn't cry at my own wedding, but somehow I couldn't get together for that, so I'm sorry about it. All right, well, just lastly,